Shocking new update from the OCC here in America, allowing financial institutions to use crypto for gas fees. This is one of the steps we needed to see happen in order for XRP and the rest of crypto market to be widely adopted. Let's go ahead and jump into what this actually means. So here was the update. The Office of Comptroller of Currency, as you can see here, the OCC confirms bank authority to hold crypto assets as principal for purposes of paying crypto asset network fees. And I know you're thinking, Sensei, what does this mean in simple terms? I got you. The OCC's decision means US banks are now allowed to hold crypto assets like XRP specifically for paying network fees, also known as gas fees, that arise when using blockchain networks, including Ripple's technology for payment processing and other approved financial activities. This regulatory clarity is important for Ripple and XRP because it removes a long-standing barrier for banks that wanted to test, build, and deploy blockchain solutions using RippleNet or XRP Ledger, but were previously uncertain about whether holding crypto for operational purposes would be allowed. Ripple and XRP, what changes here? Banks can now directly hold XRP to pay fees on the XRP ledger, making it principal for them to run payment rails or prototype services on Ripple's platform. This move streamlines institutional pilots, cross-border payment products, and the integration of RippleNet, since regulatory risk of holding XRP for network fees is now addressed. The OCC also confirmed that banks could use XRP in testing, meaning Ripple's tech stack can be tried by major banks without needing intermediaries, so they can go to them directly. Regulatory focus remains on safety and compliance. Banks must only hold what is needed for actual operational use, not speculation or trading. So it doesn't really cover the speculation or trading part, but it covers the actual usage of the asset for fees. And you can see that crypto Twitter is highlighting how important this is for the next evolution. And of course, this is not just for XRP and Ripple. This, of course, is the crypto industry more broadly. So that's really great to see. And so shifting gears here, Franklin Templeton's XRP ETF is poised to make a statement. Analysts now project Franklin Templeton's EZ XRP could hit 150 to 250 million in day one, as much as 5x the massive debut of Canary Capital's. Could you imagine? Why this matters, you ask? Franklin Templeton's 1.53 trillion assets under management, direct access to pensions, bank, RIAs, wealth managers, and institutions. EZXRP reaches investors who will never touch a crypto exchange, with Franklin entering the arena and several other issuers lining up XRP ETFs. Institutional exposure is widening faster than more people realize. The next few weeks will show whether this demand starts to surface or if the real flow is still ahead of us. XRP holders, you're not chasing hype, you're watching the market mature in real time. Big shout out to Jungle Inc. for that post. And then, of course, Smoke Dog is also highlighting how important this is in light of Franklin Templeton's upcoming XRP ETF. This deserves another look. It's Franklin Templeton's other L1s outside Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana have massive potential. And it says they are pointing directly towards XRP. And so Franklin Templeton is highlighting how this could be groundbreaking for the industry. And this was actually at the beginning of 2024 even. So they were looking years ahead even at that time. And then, of course, here just some updates so you know what's going on with Canary. We have seen a total of 124,418,674. Here are the 3 days that we have so far in the trading and unlocked. This is actually looking pretty good here. Chad Steingraber is doing a great job updating the entire community. Several major updates regarding XRP ETFs are circulating with the debut of Canary Capital ETF and Franklin Templeton's imminent launch of EZXRP. Of course, we saw this 124,418,000 XRP just after a few days, representing a sizable allocation for a small ETF. So Canary Capital being this small institution, you start to wonder, what is this going to look like for Franklin Templeton and once the other institutions have greenlit their XRP ETFs. Now, we are expecting 7 to 8 to be launched by the end of November, and more products are heading our way before the end of the year. If you throw on regulation here, if the Senate can get together and figure out their differences, it's supposed to be 90% done. These two things coming together could lead to a huge price surge for XRP, and that is what we are hoping for. I just made a great video on the derivatives market and where that stands right now. If you're watching this video, this might come out today on Tuesday, but if not, if it comes out on Wednesday, look for the video about derivatives because there's a lot of stuff happening around that you want to be updated on. All right, and then we did read some of this information. The analysts predicting 150 to 250 million in the first day. Could you just imagine if this was every day? And the implications for XRP obviously here are institutional exposure to XRP is expanding rapidly, bringing in capital from traditional financial channels to helping legitimize XRP as an investable asset. ETFs absorb large quantities of XRP, removing supply from retail exchanges as ETF allocations grow, especially with large issuers. Now, this is also a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because it helps create more demand and a higher price for XRP, but also this is more XRP going the way of institutions and not retail holders. Retail holders. I think I was trying to say hodlers and holders at the same time there, and it didn't work too well. What I want to get at here is we're still waiting for regulation in large parts of the world. And there are billions of people that haven't yet realized how important crypto is. There's just not going to be enough XRP, Ethereum, and Solana for those people wanting to get in. Can you imagine what the prices of these assets are going to be in 3 to 5 years after all of this demand comes to fruition? You saw the CEO of Uphold say this is an $80 trillion transition as wealth gets passed down to the younger generations. That wealth is going to find its way into digital assets since younger people are more prone to investing in crypto assets over traditional assets. And you start to wonder what gigantic wave of money and impact is going to have on the XRP community. I think this is what we are all getting very, very excited about. I know I am, guys. I'm trying to hold down the energy here, but it is coming to the top, baby. Also, happy holidays. We did get a seal in a little Santa hat here. So this is the new edition over here. We got a little collection of seals and a capybara there. All right, let's keep it going here. By enabling direct access for institutions to XRP exposure, ETFs could boost demand while reducing barriers for investors previously inhibited by regulatory risk or custody concerns, particularly wealth managers, right? And why it benefits XRP, increased ETF adoption, more XRP is locked into ETF structures, and then the move by Franklin Templeton and others to get into XRP opens pathways to major funds like BlackRock to follow. The only reason BlackRock is going to get into this is if they get the demand for the customers. If you have an account at BlackRock, don't need to say anything in the comments, but make sure you pick up the phone or send an email and ask, when are they going to offer spot XRP products? And that goes for any financial institution that you are a part of. If you want to be a part of the movement here, you have a voice. Go out and use it. I would really appreciate it if you did. And Vincent Van Code says XRP ETP, aka ETF in Europe, is launched. You also saw this. All of these will make large amounts of circulating supply of XRP into cold wallets, not to mention allowing large regulated institutions to gain exposure to XRP without having to operate cold wallets. And here's Wisdom Tree in Europe. So we're seeing more and more products launched all over the world for spot XRP, and this is great to see. So Reese Merrick, he is the Senior Executive Officer, Managing Director of the Middle East and Africa for Ripple. He put this out. He says, for years, fintechs have been racing to build global rails to avoid correspondent banking networks. The result, hundreds of banking partners, thousands of Nostra Vostra accounts, and billions of dollars in trapped capital sitting idle. I think the number is trillions, my man. But all good. Every new quarter means another account to fund. Every new currency means more liquidity locked up for days. This isn't scalability, it's expensive plumbing disguised as progress. Stablecoins change the game. One global liquidity pool, instant settlement, minimal fees, capital efficiency that actually scales with volume. At Ripple, we've been saying it for years. The future of cross-border payments isn't more bank accounts. It's utilizing digital assets to move like the internet does today. That was really powerful. Great to see that. And then also, it looks like Dave Portnoy's jumping back in, guys. He bought and then he sold too early and he had this whole, midlife crisis. And now he is putting capital to work, investing a few $1 million in a crypto and $1 million worth of XRP. Let's check it out.
Now, am I eligible for this? Because here comes the announcement. Last night, Monday, November 17th, if you want to look at what I did, here it is. I hope I'm not giving away nothing. I probably am, so I probably shouldn't show it. 638 bought $500,000 of XRP. 637 bought 400,000 of ETH. 637 bought 750,000 of BTC. 636 bought 500 more or a reverse of XRP. So in total, last night, $1 million of XRP, 400 ETH, 750 of BTC. Blood in the streets. Dave's like a piranha. Dave's like a great white. He's just shark on fins. Oh, you know what? Let's do it.
He's a shark in the streets until he gets worried again and talks to the wrong person and they convince him to sell XRP at the wrong time and he loses millions of dollars. Dave, if you're listening, if you need help and you want to have questions about XRP, pick up the phone, man. Send me a message. I have a few things to tell you and I can help you maybe make some, give you some information to help you make better decisions. Okay, bud? All right. And then also we're seeing some charting experts here say XRP will break out of this resistance soon, leaving Ethereum behind. Wouldn't it be a great day to wake up to see XRP in front of Ethereum? And then you know what's coming, right? We coming for Bitcoin. We coming for the top spot. When XRP reaches its utility point, Bitcoin will be somewhere down there, way below us, right? We are going to be flying high. All right. Mr. Finance Bull said, everyone talks about Garlinghouse, Schwartz, and Michaela, but few know the silent architect behind the XRP ledger, Arthur Brito, co-founder of Ripple, co-creator of the XRP ledger, architect of the XRP consensus protocol that's still running today. Then he stepped out of the spotlight, but never stopped building. Brito doesn't chase hype. He built for impact. He once said XRP must scale to 7.5 billion people, not marketing a mission. 7.5 billion people right now. There's 2 to 3 million people that own XRP out of 8 billion people. Where do you think this is going, guys? I mean, seriously. All right. The mindset shaped the XRP community into the only chain engineered from day one for institutional grade settlement and global scale. While others fight for attention, his blueprint is being executed piece by piece in silence. Let them sleep on Brito. Let them miss the bigger picture. You won't. And he's just pointing out here. Very hard to find a good picture of Arthur Brito. If anybody has a real picture, let me know. I'd love to see it. And of course, I did highlight this in another video. You still have Amplify ETFs announces the first listed XRP option income ETF, Amplify XRP 3% monthly premium. Obviously, it's targeting 36 annualized option premium income returns. This is something that you definitely should talk with a financial advisor before jumping in. There's going to be a lot of products out here, but they are not all created equally. Make sure you get the information that you need before making those decisions that can impact your XRP holdings, guys. And of course, the Amplify XRP income ETF is coming. And here you go. There's the information. Filing date, November 17th. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And then you also have all of this stuff. Like this is, I know it's a lot, right? But you have brokerages, exchanges, soft wallets, hard wallets, investments, merchants, compliant trading platforms, capital markets, ATMs, money services, banks. And then down here under special, they put Ripple and Stellar under special. Why do you think they did that? And this is BNY Mellon, right? Anybody? I've seen this before. I think I missed the special part when I last saw this, but I saw it today. I was like, almost dropped my computer. Special, right? Public, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but special? Is this a troll by BNY Mellon? I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope you're having an incredibly blessed day. Happy holidays, everything that is coming up here. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and whatever else that you celebrate. Just, it's an honor to spend this time with you. As always, have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. I'm Crypto Sensei. Peace.